Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing after controversial fight in Texas.
This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5.
Mike Tyson's career has officially come to an end after a court ruling bans him from boxing permanently. While headlines focus on his emotional breakdown upon hearing the decision, we shouldn't rush to feel too sorry for him. This ruling marks the final chapter in a controversial career filled with ups and downs.
We are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money.
This is the same Mike Tyson who once hyped himself up with intense training videos showing off his beast mode by busting his coach's lip and cracking sparring partners' ribs. Yet, when it came to facing Jake Paul in the ring, Tyson seemed more focused on stretching out the rounds, giving the impression that he was just there for show.
Everyone is talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted. And I believe that Tyson was certainly held back. Look, I'm a fighter and I can see it. It goes on the record and it was sanctioned. So Jake Paul paid to get the W on his record? For what? For your own personal satisfaction?
Jake Paul's antics may deserve their own chapter in this circus, but let's not forget, Tyson let us down. The fans who believed in him cheered for him and thought he still had it are left with nothing. It's official. Trust lost. Career over.
Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script. How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just
Like scripted in what way?
no, I don't know. I actually really like Jake Paul. It just seems so it's odd, bro.
The timing. It's a timing.
I mean,
He
it's
fights
obviously
two-
odd.
No, he fights two no names, beats them both.
What exactly did Tyson do to end up in this mess? Let's dive into it. No one else seems brave enough to reveal a real story behind his downfall.
The whole thing was scripted. The whole thing was just a money grab. And for a lot of us that love Mike, and despite what he said in that interview with the girl about the legacy, we love him and his legacy, and we didn't like what we saw last.
On November 15th, 2024, it wasn't about reclaiming titles or proving he was the undisputed king of boxing. At 58 years old, Mike Tyson wasn't just stepping into the ring. He was trying to convince the world, and perhaps himself, that the fire of his glory days still burned. It was about something deeper, or at least, that's what we were led to believe. The stage was set for a Netflix mega event billed as the fight of the decade. His opponent, Jake Paul, a guy who once pranked neighbors for YouTube views and now found himself trading punches with boxing royalty. The buildup was insane. Tyson wasn't just training for the fight, he was on a PR blitz. Fans went wild as footage showed him unleashing fury on punching bags, moving with the agility of a man half his age, all while grunting phrases like, "Age is just a number." The hype was real, and everyone was watching.
But once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, see me as an arrogant which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world.
For a moment, we believed him. Analysts were glued to their screens, Twitter became a Tyson love fest, and even skeptics couldn't resist tuning in to see if the old lion could still roar. On paper, it had everything. The raw power of a boxing icon versus the brash confidence of a Gen Z sensation. It was nostalgia meeting modern spectacle, and everyone was eager to witness the clash between these two worlds.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Fight night arrived, and the buzz quickly turned into an uncomfortable silence. The tension in the ring was palpable as Tyson entered, stoic as ever, while Jake Paul soaked in the spotlight like he just won an Oscar. When the first bell rang, fans leaned forward, expecting Tyson to charge in to remind the world why they once called him Iron Mike. But instead, we saw a cautious, defensive Tyson, dare I say, timid. Something was off. It wasn't the fighter fans had hoped to see, and it was clear something had changed.
Round 1 was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Paul maintains distance, circling the ring cautiously. Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability.
By round 2, it wasn't just a hunch anymore. Tyson, The man who used to bulldoze through legends was now sidestepping punches like he was avoiding a parking ticket. Sure, there were glimmers of the old Tyson, a sharp jab here, a cheeky hook there, but they felt more like echoes of his former self and the thunderous force he once was. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, all people, was getting bolder. He was throwing calculated punches, landing combinations, and actually looking good. And that's not a compliment, it's an indictment. By round 3, the writing was clear. Tyson looked gassed. His punches lacked power, and his footwork resembled someone stumbling in the dark, lost and unsure. Jake, sensing the opportunity of a lifetime, went all in, well, as all in as Jake Paul can go. The crowd's energy shifted from cheers to murmurs, then to something worse, disappointment. By the end, the judges didn't even flinch when they declared Jake Paul the winner by unanimous decision. The YouTube star had just beaten a heavyweight legend. Let that sink in.
If I hadn't saw that, I would be worried that this fight may not.
The fallout was brutal. Fans who had idolized Tyson for decades weren't just disappointed, they felt cheated. Social media was ablaze, but not in a good way. Some defended him, saying he's almost 60, give the man a break, while others were less forgiving, arguing he had no business stepping back into the ring. Then, there were the conspiracy theorists, whispering that the whole thing might have been staged. Let's be honest, it did look a little too convenient for some.
I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more. I'm more conscious of my children and those guys looking at my appearance. I don't have that ferocity. I'm not an animal anymore.
Whatever the truth, one thing was painfully clear. Tyson's legacy took a hit that night, and not just in the ring. For years, he had been the symbol of raw, unstoppable power. But now, he was something else entirely. A man who might have stayed too long at the party. The sting of that fight would linger, not just for Tyson, but for everyone who would believe, even for a moment, that the old lion could still rule the jungle. And I'm sure you don't know about this, but hours before the highly anticipated Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, a suspicious little document began circulating on Twitter, sparking even more questions about the event.
This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script.
At first glance, it seemed like your typical internet conspiracy theory, but this wasn't just random fan fiction. No, this was a leaked script, an actual script detailing every move of the fight, from Tyson's early defensive stance to Paul's calculated jabs, all leading to Paul's win by unanimous decision. If that wasn't spicy enough, the script even included Tyson's post-fight excuse, where he blamed his poor performance on age and fatigue. Subtle, right?
Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened.
By nightfall, the fight unfolded like a scene from a scripted drama. Tyson started cautiously, barely throwing punches, looking more like a chess player than a boxer. Meanwhile, Jake Paul, armed with the confidence of a man who's never been hit hard enough, began landing punches exactly as planned. By the third round, the deja vu was undeniable. Every key moment and shift in momentum played out just like a Netflix drama. When the final bell rang, Tyson appeared defeated, while Jake Paul basked in his scripted glory. The fans, they were furious, knowing the outcome was written long before the first punch was thrown.
In round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays it safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy.
Social media exploded, but not in a fun, meme-worthy way. We paid for a fight, not a live-action soap opera. One fan raged as hashtags like #Choward, #Tyson Paul, #scam, and #scripted fight shot to the top of trending charts. The betrayal went beyond the fight, it was about trust. Mike Tyson, once the symbol of raw, unfiltered power, was now accused of starring in boxing's version of a reality show. The backlash was swift and brutal, with fans and pundits alike demanding answers.
Friend Mike Tyson tweeted that he almost died over the summer. He said, he had a bunch of blood transfusions, just had to fight to get healthy, and then his performance yesterday against Jake Paul. Just your thoughts on what we saw.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong.
I was wrong, and answers came swiftly. Just days later, the Nevada State Athletic Commission launched an official investigation into the fight. Netflix, once basking in record-breaking viewership, found itself in the crosshairs. Whispers of backdoor deals and shady financial incentives began to leak, implicating Netflix's head of live sports programming, Nikia Biden, and her team. It turned out the fight wasn't pitched as a legitimate boxing event, but was marketed internally as boxing meets entertainment. Apparently, genuine sportsmanship had become so last season.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson now have been suspended from boxing after controversial fight in Texas. Now, why, you may ask? Now, I didn't know this, okay?
Then came the receipts. Financial records revealed Tyson had been promised a cushy $20 million payout, while Jake Paul, always landing on his feet, was set to rake in a jaw-dropping $40 million. Emails showed the entire fight was choreographed to maximize drama, viewership, and profits, and it worked. Netflix pulled in over 100 million live viewers, making it the most-watched boxing event in history. But the fallout? Well, let's just say the price of success can be steep.
Paul just got Netflix sued. People got a big problem with this stream cut now.
By December 1st, the legal hammer fell. A Las Vegas court ruled the fight a fraudulent spectacle, and the punishments were harsh. Tyson received a lifetime ban, not just from boxing, but anything remotely related. No matches, no commentary gives, not even a ticket to sit ringside. The sentence was brutal.
A 28-year-old kid who, used to be a YouTuber, and he's worked hard to learn boxing. He really has. He's come along. But really, he's still not of that level.
Jake Paul didn't escape unscathed either, receiving a 5-year ban and a $10 million fine. Both fighters were ordered to return chunks of their earnings. Tyson had to pay back $8 million, while Paul faced a $15 million payback demand. As if that wasn't enough, criminal charges for fraud and conspiracy were reportedly being explored.
7 of 34, 18%. So Tyson is averaging more punches than he did in that fight with McBride and in the exhibition against Roy Jones, where he averaged 24 punches around.
Like I said, I don't like the fact that they keep messing with that mouthpiece.
Oh, left hook! Triple left hook by Paul! He wobbled Tyson!
For Tyson, the fallout was catastrophic. This wasn't just about losing money or a ban. It was the destruction of a legacy decades in the making. Fans who had stood by him through his wildest controversies, scandals, and losses now felt utterly betrayed. This wasn't the Tyson they admired, the man who clawed his way back to respectability after rock bottom. This was something else entirely. The baddest man on the planet was now just another headline in one of boxing's darkest chapters, and his legacy was forever tarnished.
You can't fight like 2 days in a row.
Wasn't the Tyson-Jake fight, wasn't that amazing?
The damage didn't stop there. Boxing purists were outraged, calling the event a stain on the sport's integrity, while casual fans questioned if they could ever trust another high-profile match. Tyson's fall from grace wasn't just a personal tragedy, it was a blow to boxing itself. The man who once embodied the raw, unfiltered essence of the sport now stood as a cautionary tale, a reminder of how quickly a legacy can crumble under the weight of greed and spectacle.